Here it is, aka Patters, a thick stack of Rob Liefeld. Yes, we have it. We're doing another Rob Liefeld video. If you haven't seen the headline, the title of this video, or the thumbnail, we're going to identify right here the crossroads of his style evolution. Now, we all remember Rob Liefeld coming onto the scene. He sold us X-Force, Cable, Shatterstar, Deadpool, not so popular back then. I don't know, guys. Come at me with that one. I know he likes to retcon that. But then he takes a break. And upon coming back, he roars back with young blood. And such a stylistic jump. We all said, wow, this is amazing. He's got like a new inker. They're coloring him different. This is phenomenal. I just want to identify this and show all of you the exact moment where we get the old Rob Liefeld transitioning into the new hotness Rob Liefeld. It's exciting because I haven't seen anyone pick up on this, but that's why we're here on this channel. We're here to break ground. Before we hit that drawing table, please subscribe, support, leave a comment, show your boy a nice flex. Let's go. All right, AK Powders, welcome back to the drawing table of drawing tables. This is where we love to hang out on this channel. We got a couple of hellos real quick. Say hello to our mascots, Crypt and Pike, and our spiritual advisor, Stephen Hughes. Let me get some of this artwork out of the way. I got a bunch of work here. Quick finishing ups. Just gotta do some like bushes here. Gotta do some dice there. We're trying to be as productive as possible. So I fully put these in order just because I wanted to go through my thought process of where do I add these books in the Rob Liefeld Evolution of Style stack. Now, it's somewhat in chronological order, as you would expect, but let's just get into it. So we got Hulk and Dove. We will add Uncanny X-Men 245, also featured on this channel. Rejects. We got Rejects right here, post Captain America. And then we have X-Force 50, which is one of Rob Liefeld's most complete pieces. Really, this is probably Rob Liefeld's greatest illustration. It really is. Oh, excuse me, my AK Patters. I got allergies up the wazoo. I don't know about you guys, but it is painful sometimes. Yeah, we put that like right here, right before Heroes Reborn. Now, sequential, like it may not be in exact chronological order. Sometimes it's how the artwork looks. So we open up with early Rob Liefeld, right? So we have some Liefeld isms, like the wall of teeth here, all over this. We see classic Rob Liefeld poses, right? Like he later incorporates this very pose here into primarily like a bunch of his covers. It's somewhat of a modified George Perez pose, but that's a pose Rob Liefeld has used his entire life. And this face here, there's so many Rob Liefeld isms. But this is what I consider to be the not the crossover, the crossing Liefeld, where he goes from George Perez, John Byrne inspiration, and then he's adding these elements. Again, we see it here. Some of the line work, some of the shading, the wrinkles, where he just like doubles and triples up some of his wrinkle lines. The shadows underneath the brow. Right? These are like the signatures of Rob Liefeld. So he's becoming more Rob Liefeld by Uncanny X-Men 245. And then we can get into some of the stuff in New Mutants 98. This is a reprint. This is not the one of the originals. Some of the coloring muds away, I think, the line work. But we see like very similar things where like the foreheads here, or like the top of the head, we'll say. The fifth part of the 5 fingers that comprise both of these foreheads. We see it. It's a lot of these elements are very similar. So we go from New Mutants 98, double issue here with New Mutants 100. This is maybe like his best effort before we get into X-Force. And then we get into X-Force. And again, like, we see it with X-Force, though. We see, like, a fully emerged Rob Liefeld, where what inspired him as a youth. So there's no more George Perez, and there's no more John Byrne. His inspiration has left the building. Now, what's his stack of current inspiration at this point? Well, we know it's manga. We know it's Asian comics, Japanese anime, all that stuff. He's drifting away from using American comics as his source point. And he's moving towards, you know, like, for lack of a better term, Akira. But here, again, like so many Rob Liefeld isms. We got different inkers here. I think this is Mark Pasilla. See that power pose we were talking about earlier? Look, we got Juggernaut with one pose here, but then we got Sunspot with the same pose there. Yeah, and then we get into Image Comics. I just got like a couple random ones here. This is Youngblood 3. And some of this, from my perspective, is... Sorry, guys, we got interrupted there. I was about to demonstrate some of the Rob Liefeld isms. I call it his bubbling. And what am I talking about? Well, maybe, because I got this idea while I was distracted. Maybe if we look at some of his contemporaries. Like Chap Yap here. See? We get this... almost like here, like especially like these two, look, the lines right at the hips, like 1 and 2. We kind of get it here, where again, it's like bicep, and then we have that little notch here between the bicep and the forearm. And it's almost like you're bubbling out the anatomy. But I think it's when you work big and you shrink it down, I think you get some really nice effects. So some of this, my contention is, just for like production wise, Rob Liefeld would have like tissue paper, tracing paper, typing paper drawings, and it would be kind of like light box, and then he could light box the inks because he got really good with the crow quill. And this is where a lot of this work, even though the lines connect, the lines are complete, it looks fast. See, if we go to Youngblood 2, it looks fast. See, again, see the bubbling? Like bubble, bubble, bubble. And I think some of this is, you know, like you're working things out as you go along. So after Youngblood, he kind of goes on this break. And we get this version of Rob Liefeld. This is the one that really blew people away. Because we see here, he's got Danny Mickey and John Sybil. They were with him for quite some time. But see, we get this, like we're splitting here. Like we're splitting the shadowing. See, we got cross-hatching north and cross-hatching south. And some people call this double lighting. From my perspective, this is more like quad lighting, because you have 1, 2, like 3, and then 4. So it's almost like you have the reflections, the highlights, the base color, and then the highlights on top of the base. And you do work in 2 sets of highlights. So a lot of this is, and we see it. We know this was preconceived because it works so well. So a lot of times when you're drawing this, like it's being colored in your mind, or you have a colorist close enough to you that can be a part of conversations as artwork comes about. But we see more dynamic shadowing, more dynamic posing, more complete lines. This artwork, this era of Rob Liefeld, and this is what blew everyone away. This is what drove people nuts. They love seeing this evolution. And just so we can compare. If we just want to, I mean, similar poses. The one on the right, bubbly, quick. Doesn't look quite comic book, I'll say. But he takes off for a little bit, and he roars back with this style. And it was a combination of coloring, inking, more complete pencils. Dare I say, Rob Liefeld took more time. So we would get this. So from there, he would just evolve, right? We got this fantastic cover. And then we have, again, his Heroes Reborn. I absolutely love his Heroes Reborn. But we see this evolution where he's more and more complete. He's less bubbly, and his figures are more defined. Even here with Ricky Barnes, right? Like her shoulder that cuts right into the tricep, down to the forearm. These are complete, excuse me, these are complete lines. So we get that throughout Captain America. And Graduation Day, what I consider his finest artistic achievement, is Rejects here, also featured on this channel. And Rejects is no inker. And we get to see what Rob Liefeld can do. Sorry, issue 1 is no inker. Issue 0 does have an inker. But it's nice to see what Rob Liefeld can do with forms without the help of an inker. Right? So, to decode this, Rejects is a little bit of the indicator of what Mickey and Sybil had to work with the revival, right? With the return. So, if we were to bridge this, let's just call it the Youngblood 6 era Rob Liefeld. And we'll say like the X-Force era Rob Liefeld. And I'm only saying this just because, right, I don't want to say Youngblood and Youngblood, even though he drew Youngblood while he was working on X-Force and New Mutants. What's the bridge of these two? Well, it's Deathmate. And here's the crazy thing. I thought I knew everything about Deathmate. I was just recently looking through this. And why was I looking through it? Because I was thinking about doing a video about Jim Lee inking Barry Windsor Smith. And I'm like, is there enough here to do a video? But then I hit this, and I forgot about this prologue sequence. Prologue, like essentially, this is Deathmate prologue. This is part 1. This is part 2. You might say to yourself, well, Pete, what exactly are you talking about? Well, I don't know. This hand here looks quite bubbly. These figures look, I don't know. I mean, am I crazy? Some of these figures look like they belong here and they belong here. So, like, some of these figures look like they belong in Youngblood 6 or X-Force. But they're complete. They're complete and they're defined. See here. Like, we see, like, shades of where it would be quick and bubbly. See? Even here. Combat's chest. You see a little bit with Warblade's scream here. He's definitely with this running pose here. This is very similar to Youngblood issue 1. Right? And we get this, see, we get this bubbliness. And then, yeah, so a little bit of time goes by. Because remember, Deathmate Red was late. And through that, we kind of get this version of Rob Liefeld. And the bridge, the connective tissue is the Deathmate prologue, which I view this as the connective tissue. And it is the true evolution. I mean, there's very few moments where artists that we can do this with, but we can do it with Rob Liefeld. And some of this is, it contributes to how well of an illustrator he actually is. See here, see, like, he doesn't quite do the wrinkles on the arm, but he does the wrinkles on the undercarriage. And see, he doubles and triples those up. Again, like flat out Rob Liefeld faces, but the line work, to me, this looks a lot loose. And I get it. You know, sometimes we have to focus on developing our eye. I say this a lot. We have to get a little bit better with constructively how we look at comic book artwork. I think anyone out there that wants to publish their own stuff or get into it themselves, this is a little bit of that journey you have to go on. But you should be able to discern and witness an evolution and pick out the progress, like the pieces that define the progress. And this is a brain dump video, aka Paris. By the time you guys get this, I may have moved on to an evolution of this thought, but a lot of this channel is bringing you things, excuse me, as I uncover them. All right, guys, I love you. What do you think? Let me know if I'm crazy.